Hi, I'm Justin Dos Santos, and today my presentation is going to be about should the Astros' punishment have been more severe. So during the 2017 Major League Baseball season, the Houston Astros were using cameras at their home field to steal the pitcher's signs. They then relayed those signs by the banging of a trash can, resulting in more success at the plate, and they even won the World Series that year. The cheating never came to light until a former player, Mike Fiers, exposed the cheating and opened up a huge scandal. The Astros denied the allegations until the MLB did a full investigation. They found out all of the allegations were true. The Astros' punishment was a $5 million fine. They were stripped of 4 first-round draft picks and the suspension of their manager and their GM for a whole year. In my personal opinion, it was a slap on the wrist. So, how did they cheat? They used cameras, like I said, and they stole the opposing team's signs with that camera that had a decoding software. The way they relayed it was with the banging of a trash can. This is really similar to like a runner standing on second base and they find out the signal that the catcher's putting down and they figure out the pitch and they relay that to the batter. But the difference is they're actually getting on second base and they're not using the decoding software. As a team, it's like you're fighting with your hands tied behind your back because they have that decoding software. So no matter what kind of signals the catcher puts down, you're going to pick it up either way. For pitchers, it's really frustrating to face a hitter that knows what you're throwing. As a pitcher, you're trying to set up the batter with certain pitches, and you really can't do that if a hitter is sitting back on whatever you're about to throw them. Secondly, winning games they didn't deserve to win. As a team, you work so hard to win as many games as you can. Now, there's no denying that the Astros would have been successful in 2017, but not as successful as other teams who played the game right. Many teams worked hard to get to the postseason, and coming up short and to a team that really was cheating isn't really right. Now, opposing teams such as like the Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, a lot of other great teams in the postseason had great teams that year, and they deserve the right to win. Unfortunately, they weren't given a fair chance at the title due to the cheating of the Astros. Now, that brings me to my second point, the outcome of their cheating. First off, it was a better performance of the players, such as Jose Altuve won the most valuable player in 2017. Now, there's no denying he played one of his best seasons that year and had a career year at the plate. Altuve was competing with Aaron Judge for for MVP that year. Other players believe now that that award should have gone to Judge. So it sucks if you're Aaron Judge because that year you had one of your best years. It was your rookie year. There's a lot of what ifs that could have happened if he won that MVP. Now, other things are opposing pitchers were affected. Now, this is something that I found really crazy. There were 9 pitchers from opposing teams that were either traded or released after really terrible performances against the Astros in the 2017 year. Many pitchers were conflicted by how hard it was to pitch against Houston at home. Now, you have to think, as a pitcher, what does this do to your psyche when you're going against a team and you're just absolutely getting everything you throw to them, your fastball, your curveball, your changeup, any other pitches you have, anything you throw to them is just getting rocked. It's really tough as a pitcher to handle that after. So that's the thing. It's a really big play on a pitcher's psyche. Thirdly, they got a World Series win on it. Now, if you look at the statistics, they had a lot of trouble on the road. During the 2017 postseason, the Astros' stats on the road were terrible compared to their shining stats at home. Some hitters' difference in batting average was nearly a 200th of a point difference than it was at home. That's really crazy. They were nearly unbeatable at home. During the 2017 postseason, many teams struggled beating the Astros at home. Throughout the postseason, the Astros had home field advantage in every series except the World Series. So that really is a big advantage for them because they played at home most of the postseason and they were able to use those cameras. And I remember I was watching a podcast with CC Sabathia, who's the pitcher for the Yankees, and he just said that it was so hard to beat the Astros at home, and now we know why. Now this brings me to my third point. The Astros staff and players were really unapologetic. The remarks of all of their players, including Justin Verlander, at the 2019 awards ceremony. After Justin Verlander received the Cy Young Award, he gave an acceptance speech, and at the end he added, "I guess the Astros are just a little more technologically advanced than other teams." Now, if you're another player, such as CC Sabathia, who I just mentioned, who was at that award ceremony, he heard that and he walked right out of the building just because he was so upset about it. Because, I mean, as a player, that's like a slap in the face. Like, you're basically, they know they cheated, they know they didn't deserve to win, and now they're throwing it right back in your face. After this remark, many players took offense to Verlander's remarks. And secondly, Astros general manager. The Astros owner, Jim Crane, even made some kind of smart remarks like Justin Verlander did. He said, "It did not impact the game." Now this is kind of left me a little dumbfounded, because these remarks by Crane show that the organization really wasn't sorry for what they did. The apologies of other players weren't very sincere. Alex Bregman made it seem if it wasn't even a part of it. Usually Alex Bregman's really outgoing, really confident, and a little cocky, but I mean, he's a baseball player, so I mean, what do you expect? But in his interview, he said the Astros did what they did, almost denying that he was even a part of it. The normal, very outgoing, confident baseball star made it seem like he wasn't even a part of it. So that's, I don't know, that's just really upsetting to me. They really didn't feel bad about what they did. In the end, many players weren't sorry for what they did. They were just sorry they got caught. It's tough to forgive someone who isn't very sincere. Now, my conclusion. This cheating scandal has brought so much shame to the game of baseball. The 2017 World Series went from being one of the most triumphant wins after the terrible hurricane that shook Houston to now one of the most frowned upon ones. The Astros went from being one of the most liked teams to now one of the most hated teams. The thing that really upset me is the lack of punishment the MLB enforced on them. Throughout the league's history, many players and teams have had severe punishments for minor incidents compared to this. The Astros don't deserve that World Series title. Not only that, but what kind of example are we setting for the future generations? The Astros should have been more severely punished to ensure that no other teams try this again.